What's up, everyone? What am I drawing today? I'm drawing mischief, actually. It's been a long time. I'm drawing mischief. I'm kind of wanting to like come in and out of frame. Noodle mode. And I'm just doing it in black and white for now. So this is one of my albums I made as an EP. You can see the description there on the right side of the screen. You can find it on Spotify and all that. Can you release interface on DVD? I have it on VHS, but I'm not opening it. Well, I have it on Blu-ray, and I haven't made a DVD of it, only because DVDs are standard definition, and it basically now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I should put it on DVD. I have it on Blu-ray, but like, if people is there a lot of people that don't have Blu-ray players still? I just figured that by now, to 2024, most people probably have a Blu-ray player, and I don't think most people have like independent DVD players anymore. Still on VHS. Oh. I'm gonna turn the music down. That should be better, I think, right? Oh, and I'll turn my mic up. There, how about that? Is that better? Yeah. Should be good now, I think. I didn't have my mic up high enough. Hey, it's up, Crab Lord. Comical thread. That's good, man. That's sometimes it happens that way. I've listened to some film soundtracks. I haven't seen the actual movie too before. So, Sovengard, I have a question. What am I supposed to do with the music files I got when I bought the CD bundles? Don't recognize them as audio files. They should be MP3 files, aren't they? There might be FLAC files in there too, but you should have basically WAV files, MP3s, and FLAC files. So you should be able to put the MP3s basically on your phone or whatever you need to put them. I just kind of include the FLAC and the WAVs just in case someone wants a lossless audio experience. However, the MP3s are encoded at like 320, which is basically the highest setting. So there's basically no difference in quality. Like you can't really hear the difference anyway. So hopefully that answers your question. If you get like some weird format, just let me know. Yeah, Ridley Scott usually has some pretty good soundtracks in his films. Gladiator soundtrack in particular is excellent. He used to use Vangelis. Man, there's like documentaries about Vangelis, and he used to have this like all glass studio in London. Just like kind of just like completely glass. Just thought that was an interesting thing. You can sometimes there's videos with Ridley Scott and him talking about the soundtrack and stuff on certain films. And Vangelis just kind of just makes something up really on the spot and like Squidward, I appreciate the comment, thank you. Appreciate that. Comical Thread. I recently ordered the Mischief, the Interface Volume 2 LP. Very excited, not to mention the color of the LP looks very, very pretty. Hey, I appreciate that, Comical Thread. I'll probably be shipping, I don't know when you ordered that, but if it was like within the past 5 days, I'm going to be shipping that out tomorrow. Usually I ship things out on Sunday, or I package them first on Sunday, and then they go out on Monday morning. Sometimes I do things on Thursday and Friday too if I get a lot of orders, but usually it's just once a week. So I'm not just shipping all the time. But yeah, probably tomorrow I'll be packaging that thing out. Good autumn to you. Yeah, man. Today's been kind of warm. I'm looking forward to like cooler weather finally. I can't really sleep properly in the middle of summer, like August and July. We usually have the air conditioning going. So in a couple weeks, I'm going to be going to Ottawa for the film festival down there again to premiere the Chimney Alfonso video, the new one, A Date with Chimney Alfonso. And it's also going to be in El Paso like the same time, the El Paso Film Festival. Unfortunately, I won't be going to that film festival. 2 days ago, Interface premiered, well, it didn't premiere, but it was in Paris, like right downtown. So that was pretty crazy. We had like a screening there, and I didn't go to that either. It's just too expensive. There's so many screenings happening now, like I can't go to them all. It's just gotta be pick and choose, you know. But going to Ottawa and then Toronto again in the fall. There we go. I like this little star burst thing. Sweet soda chick. If you could describe how your year is going using only fruit, which fruit best symbolizes your year? I'd say it started off kind of like a soggy kiwi. And then it turned into like a nice firm juicy orange. And right now it's probably like an apple that's kind of been out on the counter a little too long. But hopefully I can turn it back into a nice tasty grapefruit. I think I'm going to turn it into a grapefruit soon, so thank you for the question. Get off my lawn films. I do appreciate the comment, but that answer is in my description, and I don't answer that particular question anymore because it drives me insane. Sorry. Antrave, Hey, Mammy, my girlfriend got me one of your beanies. We love both of your work. I've been seeing the world. It's been seeing the world. Hey, appreciate that, man. Really do appreciate that. Where you been traveling? There, this is starting to look more fluid now. Sparkly. Made a fellow art friend at the gym and told him to check your workout. Hey, appreciate that, Andre. What's up, dude? I've been going to the gym like crazy this past year. Way more than I used to. I used to go like 2-3 times, maybe two times a month. It was just pathetic, really. And then now I'm going like 3-4 times a week. Probably 3 times a week, I'd say. Sometimes 4, but not that often. Because I find that when I do 4, it's like I'm kind of overdoing it a little bit. Yeah, you always it's weird, you know, making friends at the gym, but sometimes you end up talking to people sometimes. I try to get people's names, you know, if they ask to work in and stuff, so I just like know who they are. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just like nice to know who the people are, because you go in there so often and it's like the same people after a while. It's kind of like weird not knowing who they are. You know what I mean? It's like, who are these people I'm like spending all this time with? I just don't even friggin' know who they are. So yeah. Bagel dealer, do you ever think about the fourth dimension of space? Would be cool to see some fourth dimensional shapes animated. So, you know, there people have different definitions of what the fourth dimension is. Personally, I always thought the fourth dimension is just time, or what we describe as time, even though time isn't exactly like the universe doesn't recognize time. Because it's like basically a man-made construct, you know. But like if you're talking about like fourth dimensions in terms of like those kind of like shapes that get extrapolated outwards, like a cube turns into like a tesseract sort of thing. I honestly don't know enough about like physics and the whole fourth dimensional sort of thing, and to really like know if that's like a real thing or it's just some sort of creative thought experiment, you know what I mean? Because I've seen like these videos on YouTube that are like, oh, here's an object in 4D and it does all this wacky stuff, but it's like, is there really a fourth dimension other than time? Or is this just like a, you know, I don't know. I mean, I gotta read more about it, you know. My personal opinion is I have time as the fourth dimension, and then I just end it there. And maybe there is like a fifth dimension or whatever, but like, I just feel like we got enough stuff to figure out in the third dimension and fourth dimension that to kind of like pretend we know what we're talking about when we make these like crazy ass videos. It just seems like we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit. It's like kind of like there's some videos on YouTube that take it way too far too. They go like on about the sixth and seventh dimension. It's like, what the fuck? It's just complete nonsense in my opinion. But I don't know. I don't know too much about like that fourth dimension where it's like you touch something and it like transforms because it's like based on the angle that you look at it or whatever. And I don't know too much about that. Hey, Peach Pie, appreciate the comment there. How many chin-ups can you do now? I haven't like tried to like count how many I can do, but it depends how you do them, right? You can do the wide kind like this, or you can do the, you know, the narrow kind that kind of mostly just exercises your biceps. The wide kind, from how I do it, is mostly like upper back. Because I don't know how it works, basically. It's just that's what your muscles get engaged in that area. I don't know if I were to like try. Maybe I'll try doing that next time. See how many I can do in a row. But I usually just do like extremely not slow, but like just like very controlled movements, and I try to do them in like sets of 5, and I just do them until I feel like it's been enough, usually 3 sets or around there. I don't really count. Sometimes people ask me like how many sets you got left and stuff, and it's like I don't like have a set regiment amount of sets I do, because it's always a little bit different. And I just kind of like listen to the body instead, you know. If you feel like you're overdoing something, or if you start to tremble if you're doing something, then it's probably time to stop, right? That's how I deal with it anyways. I think it's just a more intuitive way for me to exercise than... I don't want to be keeping math and doing numbers in my head and stuff, you know what I mean? Some people do it very mathematically. They have like a little book and they write down all the numbers, and that's fine. If that works for them, that's good. But I don't have the... I don't do it that way. It's just I do more instinctually, I guess. Just kind of making shit up, you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know, listen to your body, you know? Solvingard, okay, when I download from the cart, it gives me 3 files starting with blah, 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 and that. download it from the cart. It gives me 3 files, starting with that, and that. Hey, Sylvan Guard, how about just send me an email? I'll send you a link to where you can download the files. Basically, what you should get when you download those, it shouldn't be like maybe could you like also like screenshot what you see, like, and then I'll try to fix it, but I'll send you a link to the files directly. That way you can just download them. I don't know why it's giving you some weird gibberish like that. Sorry, man. What height and weight are you? I'm 5'11" and I weigh about 172 pounds. It goes up to 175 if I eat a lot of food. Hey, Google user. My phone just started talking. Oh my god, dude, that's fucked up. Your username is Google user, and I think my phone just like woke up and started talking because they thought I was talking to him. They got this new fucking AI now. I should probably disable it. I don't know why it's like talking about nicotine or something like that. It's weird. Okay. Here comes mischief. A fox in space. I go 3 days a week and do what I feel comfortable with. It's like making a recipe. You do the basic stuff over and over and eventually find out what you can add to make it better. Yeah, exactly. Just kind of take it easy, and eventually, so about a year ago I started feeling like I wasn't pushing myself hard enough going to the gym. Like I wasn't pushing myself with heavy enough weights and stuff. And I was also like neglecting certain muscle groups, like the triceps and the shoulders. Like these, I don't know exactly what they're called. There's a chart in the other room, but there's like 3 different muscles on the shoulder, like the ones in the front, the ones in the back, and the side ones. So I just started kind of like dramatically increasing the weight, and basically when I could only do like 3 or 4 sets basically, because then the muscle would fail. Not sets, reps. I meant to say. And for me in particular, I noticed that it made a tremendous difference and I wasn't lifting heavy enough, basically. I used to do like enough weight that I could do 8, or I could like get up to doing, I could do like 8 reps, and then, but I figured it, like for me personally, I just found that doing less reps but with a heavier weight just works better, and it made a huge difference for me. Then also I started changing my diet too, eating a lot more protein, like now particularly now I'm eating a lot of yogurt and stuff, like protein yogurt, and I've kind of reduced my alcohol intake significantly as well. That's another thing. The alcohol inhibits muscle growth, and so I still drink beers once in a while, but like much less than I used to. I'm trying to improve my posture, basically. It was one of the main reasons why I started going to the gym more frequently, is and because I had this like pain in my leg that doesn't seem to want to go away, and I know sort of what the issue is, but anyway, it's like when I exercise, it sort of goes away, and I've been doing a lot of stretches too, and it's sort of been helping, but not really, but whatever. My leg still hurts, but it's fine. Sweet Soda Chick, have you ever played sports? I used to, no, not really. I used to play street hockey when I was like a kid, like teenager. You know, in Canada, basically it's like you get like these nets on the street. It's just like a soccer net, sort of, that you're basically playing soccer with not soccer. You're playing hockey, street hockey. Did I say street soccer? I meant to say street hockey. Hockey with like a tennis ball. It's pretty common up here, though I don't see anyone doing it on the streets anymore. Maybe they do it in the back alleys. I don't know. I'm not so aware of it. I never joined like a team. I wasn't like on like a team sport. But I took a lot of swimming classes when I was younger, and I didn't even really enjoy it, to be quite honest with you. I just kept taking them though because I wanted to like get to the end, and so I did that for a long time. Swimming, basically. So in high school, I ended up being a lifeguard for an outdoor pool for 2 summers, and then it was like time to move on. Is it sciatica? Hey, Wacom. Yeah, I think it is sciatica. But I don't know. I've been doing the stretches for it, and it doesn't help. The only thing that does help is to not twist my lower back, basically. I think there's like a fucking nerve problem or something. And I don't know. I've been going to chiros. I've been going to massage therapists, and it doesn't seem to do. I don't know. It's okay. My palpitations and back pains are 99% gone since I started back at the gym. Hey, good, man. That's good. Yeah, man. It's posture-wise, and another thing is like I started easing into doing deadlifts because I hear a lot of stories about people hurting themselves doing deadlifts, and deadlifts are fine. I don't think it's necessary to like go crazy with them like some people do. But ever since I started doing those and squats, my posture has just like completely changed. Like I can stand up straight and not feel like I'm forcing myself to be in any particular way. So now I'm really, I think, you know, it does take up a lot of your time, you know. It's, if you have like a full-time job and you got kids and stuff, and I cannot, it's difficult to go to the gym, you know, even twice a week or 3 times a week. But for me in particular, I just find it's been extremely helpful in getting my posture and health back in check. Because honestly, after I made Interface, I was like not in the good shape, mentally or physically. It's just too much computer time, and that's partially why, you know, these days on my channel, it's not like I'm uploading a new episode every 2 or 3 months like I used to, because it's just, I don't have the willpower to continue doing that anymore. I don't think anyone expects me to either. I mean, it's like ridiculous. YouTube does not tend to, you know, the rewards for doing that much animation labor are just not there. So now I'm taking a more healthy approach to animation, which is just to just make stuff, but like, you know, focus on what I enjoy doing more, which is making music. And what's going on with this button here? Peach pie. I'm pretty much a full-time artist these days. I have like one client I still do video editing for, but that's maybe like a week or 2 every year, so it's not really any significant amount of work. Yeah, so basically artist, you know, encompasses the word like merch designer and retailer and stuff too, right, these days. So, but basically, yes, everything I'm doing is mostly just related to my artwork, and it's been like that for the past couple of years now. I feel like he's not rotating enough. See, the problem with working with pixel art instead of instead of doing it in like a vector-based program is you can't just rotate things, because the pixels end up looking like that, which looks like crap. So if I make a mistake, usually I just have to delete it, just redraw it, but whatever. I should just do the sketches first and then go in later. I'm putting too much detail into my... But the fitness stuff it becomes more important the older you get, I feel. You can kind of like make your way through your 20s without taking fitness too seriously, but I think once you start getting into your 30s, you start noticing that things aren't working properly anymore. And so the crazy thing is now I'm like in better shape than I was ever before, like even in my 20s, I feel like. And it makes me like wonder why I didn't get more into it earlier, but I guess I was focused on other things, you know, like finishing interface and that sort of thing. Do you believe the myth that suffering makes art good or no? I don't think that suffering is a proponent to making good art. However, I think you need to be able to recognize and educate yourself on the kind of fucked up things that happens in the world, and to not live in some sort of like fantasy bubble where everyone holds hands and makes friends with one another and cross borders and stuff. Because if you... And you don't necessarily need to comment directly on that in your artwork. You just have to know it as an artist. Because I just feel like if you don't... If you kind of live in this like fantasy, happy, fun, go lucky life and you make artwork, your artwork is going to have this sort of like sweetness, this superficiality to it that doesn't... Like, I can't really describe it, basically. But you don't need to, like... I don't think it's necessary that you yourself suffer as an artist, like starve or have, like, you know, these problems that happen directly in your own life, you know. It's just, I think it's just important that you are... you don't have this sort of blinders on about issues, you know. And to also, I mean, that's basically it. That's all I'm saying, really. Because I'm going to tell you something. If you're suffering, truly suffering as an artist, you're not going to make any art. Trust me that. Because the only time I'm drawing or making art and doing anything like that is because I'm in like a good mood. I'm in a mood where my head's clear. I'm not thinking about crap, you know? And if you're suffering as an artist, really, you like, what are you gonna paint? You're gonna go start painting now? Like, what? You're gonna put your... That doesn't work that way. Oh, I think David Lynch said something similar to this. Like, it's like, it doesn't make sense to glamorize this whole suffering, you know? It's just that, like, basically, your artwork can't be ignorant to, like, life in general. And so life has suffering in it, you know what I mean? So do you ever wonder if you are really you, what makes you you, or is there even a you? I do wonder that stuff all the time. I wonder a lot about stuff, you know. I wonder about, you know, space and how everyone's kind of... Basically, everything is a capillary, you know. That includes life, you know. my parents, my grandparents, it goes upwards like a big web, like a big vein, you know? And if you were to zoom outwards on the universe, all the galaxies and all the, you know, they form a kind of a interconnected cerebral web, you know? And the veins in your own body are like that. And if everything's connected in that sort of way, what does it lead up to, you know? It does make you wonder. Are there any significant philosophies you take into creating your work? No, I don't really, I'm not much of a philosopher, to be quite honest with you. I don't read books on philosophy. I find they kind of make me annoyed a little bit. Sometimes I'm just like reading a book, I'm just like telling the author to like, I'm just like, shut the fuck up. Like, you could have summarized this in like a paragraph. Why does this have to be so friggin' long and verbose? You know what I mean? So I get out of this. I can't read it. You know, the only stuff I can read nowadays is like people who get to the fucking point. And so I'm actually really enjoying reading this book now by Hemingway. To Have and Have Not. And it's nice. I went to the library, I took this book out. It's a fiction book, and it's clear to the point. I can read it, the characters. I don't know, I don't have patience for like verboseness for no fucking reason anymore. There's this one book here I got, The Beginning of Infinity. Explanations That Transform the World by David Deutsch or something like that. And I'm telling you, the guy fucking yaps on for fucking ever. And it made me angry. I couldn't finish the book. I was just like, I had enough of this. And I've read some books before about like physics and space time and all that sort of thing. It's basically a book about, it's about a lot of stuff, but he goes on about definitions for like three freaking chapters, and I'm just like, I had enough. And I feel like I'm going crazy sometimes. Like, am I stupid or something? You know what I mean? Like, I can't read this book but I don't know. It just it doesn't matter. If I'm not enjoying the book, why am I torturing myself with it, right? Raggedy Man, I'd love to re-engage making music, but I had to stop. I'm in torturous pain until I can resolve it. I'm benched. Hey man, I hope you feel, work on that shit and get yourself back. And yeah, exactly. You know what I'm talking about, man. If you're not having a good time, it's impossible to create art. You know what I mean? You just want to lie down all day. You don't want to, Is Mischief inspired by Stephen King? He's probably partially inspired by Pennywise, for sure. But I wasn't like thinking about Pennywise when I made him. You know what I mean? It's kind of like Pennywise and like Dr. Manhattan, a little bit, sort of, kind of a mix, I guess. I feel like we are all little finger puppets off the same hidden hand. We think we have a self and each other, but we're just like just different versions of each other. Yeah, so I mean that's yeah, there's like that drawing that someone made where there's like a little like individuals on a finger, and like basically God is the hand or whatever. Yeah, I don't honestly, you know, I think about it like in terms of maybe if there is God or whatever, and we're part of God, I honestly believe that we are part of God. It's not like he's separate from us. I think that he is us, you know? I think that like basically we manifested from nothing because we exist in this universe in which he himself or she doesn't quite understand. And so we are the sensors of the universe, you know? Think about it like this. If you're a rock or whatever, you don't have any eyes, you don't have a nose, you can't smell, you can't taste, you can't feel, you can't hear, you can't see, right? So what is the universe to you? You can't feel anything. You can't see anything. Basically, the universe doesn't exist. Nothing exists to you. It does exist, but as a rock, there is nothing. None of this exists around us. Like if you were a human born without eyes, without sense of smell, taste, and you had a brain still, but you had nothing to sense the universe that you're in. You were just a baby with nothing, like no sensing. What exactly would you think at all? Or would there be absolutely nothing there? Because maybe you would think of something. But if you have no context for what to place things on, if you can't feel anything, there's literally nothing around you in the universe. And so I feel like our job is to be the people that can sense. Life is basically the sensors of the universe, because if without life, it only exists in an abstract kind of like thought, basically. Although that's not true, because it would exist, like the universe existed. But if you can't sense it, then what is the point of it existing? Because there's literally nothing there. So I just feel like it's kind of a complicated thought to think about a little bit. I don't really know what I'm going on about anymore. Were you inspired by Ghost in the Shell? Well, yeah, Cammy, her character is a little bit inspired by the robot from Ghost in the Shell, for sure, yeah. You know, there's this whole the whole debate about consciousness is like, and the whole AI thing, it boils down to, is there something to humans that is different from like a robot that has like an AI or whatever, a consciousness? Like, is there something to consciousness in humans that for some reason we can't measure? You know, if we do an X-ray of somebody, we can't see their soul, you know what I mean? Do souls exist? And there's this whole kind of like debate on whether or not it exists, if we're actually that special, or if consciousness could just be something that an AI could replicate with a strong enough computer system. And although there is no technically proof of some sort of soul or something like that, I do personally believe that there is a difference between what we experience as humans than as what a computer in the future could possibly experience. And yes, I know the brain is similar in the sense that we have electrical signals that run through our brain, and computers could be very similar in structure in the future. But, and there's no proof, I can't prove why we're separately different, but I just feel like they're not the same thing, you know? That's just my personal opinion. A bagel dealer. Did I miss something? Hold on, let me see. Oh yeah, I just talked about that, I think. Yeah, consciousness. So I was reading a book about Jung, basically, and his ideas, what he believed essentially is that the more conscious we become, the closer we are to resolving ourselves as and understanding the universe. And basically, there could be higher levels of consciousness out there. We haven't encountered them yet. Crude Templar. I don't know enough about those religions in order to say, because I haven't studied. There goes my painting. I haven't studied any of those religions in any detail, so I don't know. What was the music that you used in the first part of the War Thunder animation? Oh, you know what? That's it's a Chimney Alfonso track that I didn't release yet. So I've been meaning to like put the video, the music out for those Chimney Alfonso videos, but I was waiting until I made one more track, just so that I could just so that it seemed a little bit more significant, and I was going to put out a Chimney Alfonso EP and get them mastered and stuff. But for now, it's a kind of a, excuse me, it's not released. What do you think about Jung being a Fed? I didn't read about that, so I don't know. But what do you mean he was a Fed? Because I thought he was Swedish. I could be wrong. Well, not Swedish, Swiss or something. One Card Pony, I do appreciate the offer, but I don't really collaborate with anyone, really. It's just, not that I don't want to, it's just, I just kind of like doing my own thing and not having to like plan stuff, so that's basically it. It's honestly hard enough for me to even animate with like people I hire, you know what I mean? Because I have to like put my thoughts in the words and stuff. I screwed up this drawing. He's facing the wrong way. Do you think of a necessary gap between one's ambitions and desires, or should one allow them to coincide with one another to reach a new potential for their work? A gap between their ambitions and desires? Aren't those the same thing, basically? I feel like they are, but I could be misinterpreting the question. It's also facing the wrong way in this drawing. I'm just going to redraw him again. Screwed up. Shit. Bonebox Chicken, I have 2 weeks off next month, and I should just buy some single malt whiskey and watch all of Interface in one go, and then save mode. Right on, man. He was recruited by Alan W. Dulles, the Central European representative of the Office of Strategic Services and the precursor of the CIA. What was he recruited to do exactly? And what was his involvement? I mean, I guess I could research this myself, but I've never read anything like that, so I don't know. You know, the CIA did a lot of weird shit in the 60s and 70s, which I don't know if there's any basis to the reality behind them and stuff. You know, I feel like they were experimenting. They were trying to, like, they had people that basically tried to, like, read people's minds across, like mind readers. There's a whole gateway process thing, and you know, I feel like it's bullshit, because if it was real, there would be legitimate science behind. Like, this stuff has been declassified, you know, and the only information I seem to get about it is like random people on the internet that kind of just, oh yeah, I was able to leave my body and, you know, fly around town and stuff in the middle of the night. It's like, really, if you did, okay, if you were able to do that, I think there would be like a whole. There would be like corporations getting involved, you know what I mean? It wouldn't just be this thing that you could just learn how to do. That's just my opinion about it. I'm pretty skeptical when it comes to stuff like that. The CIA does a lot of stuff, you know, did a lot of stuff that I'd say had questionable impact on what their goals were. I don't necessarily know if their involvement with Young would have changed too much, you know what I mean? What is the difference between ambition and desire? I don't think there is a difference. With your music, what do you start with playing with first? Usually I start with piano. Even if it's not going to be a piano piece, just getting the melody down is kind of... where I would start with getting the melody down. That's basically it, really. Anytime I try to like start doing the drums first or something like that, it just ends up being slop. So I don't know. Oh, this drawing's screwed up. His nose is like wrong. His nose should be below his eyes, not above them. That's why I was like, why does he look messed up? Do you happen to have any tips for people who might also want to get into creative full-time work? Where should they start, in your personal opinion? Well, you have to ask yourself and be quite honest about what are you providing society as an artist? Are you creating something that people value? And does it align with your own values? And so what I mean by that is, are you creating something that people want to buy? You know, you don't have to make artwork that's just commercial, but you can't, you know, if what all you want to do is paint still lives of like potatoes, you're gonna have an impossible time selling your artwork, basically. So you have to be very, you have to balance your desires with the desires of people who basically want to support you, but will only do so if you make something that they resonate with. I don't really have any tips, though. I mean, it's like you have to, if you want to get into creative work full time, you have to basically go in head first and dedicate yourself to, you know, it's gonna be years basically where you make crap, basically, like, and you have to push past it. You know, it's like going to the gym, basically. You know, the first like 6 months it's gonna be like hell, and you're gonna hate going to the gym, possibly. You know, that's kind of how I was like, right? But it gets to a certain point where you kind of get to that, you know, that fulcrum point where things start changing. But you know, honestly, I don't have tips. My only tip is to be very honest with yourself about what you're providing society as an artist, because just because you made something that's pretty and looks cool doesn't necessarily mean that society wants it. And you have to be able to, but, you know, another thing is, you know, in my opinion, if you're going to be an artist too, you kind of have to be unabashedly, like, not opinionated, but you have to be like strong in what you believe in. You know what I mean? You kind of have that strong belief in what you really believe in, because if you don't, it's like it comes through your artwork, sort of. And even if it's like you end up doing surreal stuff like I do, like you can't really guess my political affiliation through my artwork, but you actually can a little bit, to some degree, if you were to really sit down and think about the kind of things that I'm saying through my pieces. I mean, I mean, obviously there's differences. Like, what are you supposed to, like, how are you supposed to tell anything like that when you see artwork like this, right? I mean, like, what is that? But I'm just speaking in general terms. Okay, next question. A lot of questions today. Okay. Do you like AI tools? I've used AI tools just to test them out. I wanted to like see what the limits of them were. I don't enjoy typing into a prompt box. So basically I don't really use AI tools. So I also, you know, I don't think getting mad about AI on Twitter is also the right choice for artists to do either. I think it's, frankly, it's just stupid. Like, just focus. I know, like, the world's gonna change. You know what I mean? It's like the average lifespan is 80 years old, right? So 80 years ago, what the computers didn't exist. You know what I mean? And so we're like, now digital art is this, like, it's just roll the punches. You have to adapt, learn as much as you can, and make your art so good that AI won't be able to replace you. That's my opinion about it. And don't make your whole personality anti-AI, because it's just, you're not going to connect with your audience that way. You're just going to connect with other angry anti-AI artists on Twitter, basically. So I kind of stay out of that whole mess. Andrew Coaster, I don't know if I said that right, but Ghost in the Shell makes me want to ask, any other animated movies that you absolutely love? Personally, a lot of 90s animation, anime. Yeah, so there was the Studio Gilby film called Valley of the Winds or whatever. Or what was it called? Nausicaa. I can't pronounce the first part. Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. This is an excellent animation. I really love this one a lot. Obviously, I like everything that, well, I like most of stuff that Studio Gilby makes. I don't really have any other recommendations though in terms of animation. You know, the weird thing is that I'm not that much into animation as people might expect me to be. I know a lot of animators these days. I know quite about about different animations, but I don't really watch that much animation. But I will tell you that that film, Valley of the Wind, is phenomenal. Just in terms of sound design, it's incredible, and like the drawings are complex, but at the same time they're quite simple too. And I think it's a great movie. So. Moo aside, hypothetically, if someone commissioned me to draw Mischief, would that be okay with you? Yeah, that's okay with me. That's fine. As long as you're not like making it your whole thing. You know what I mean? Like if you do it like once in a while because someone asked you to do a Mischief commission, whatever, I don't care. I just don't want, like, you know, someone starting to like pumping out like Mischief drawings and selling them. You know what I mean? Like it's like the whole thing, right? Because that's a bit strange. No, you can do like a one-off once in a while, yeah, for sure. Okay, I know I wasn't gonna like rant about AI and stuff, AI art, but I just find it kind of funny that a lot of times the people who are the most anti-AI online are people that go to these artist alleys at Comic-Cons and they make drawings of well-known IPs, and that's their source of revenue or whatever, but they're complaining about how AI steals. Yet for a lot of these people, their entire body of work is based off of someone else's IP. I just find that a little bit ironic. But anyway, I'm gonna cut that out. I don't want to talk about that crap. Yeah. Yeah, I think I caught up with all the questions finally. Time to draw mischief again. I think I'm going to stop soon, guys. I'm just kind of getting tired and I need to go make some food. But yeah. You know, I don't know, some of these companies though, they're a little bit too, I think they're a little bit too optimistic about AI being able to replace all their artists and stuff. Like it really can't replace the artist. Like I tried to, I know how these tools work, and like you're gonna get like inconsistencies across generations, and maybe you can resolve that. But also sometimes I just like I don't get, like it's just easier to just draw something than like have to like describe it, you know? And another thing is like with concept art is, you know, because of the AI basically being a trained model, it's, you can apply styles to things, like you can apply a cheese filter to like, you know, SpongeBob, whatever, make a cheese SpongeBob, and you can say that's creative, whatever. But it's actually, it's not really making anything original, you know? So if you really want to make something quite original, using AI is you're not going to be able to really do it. I mean, you can make something that with like a filter applied to it, you know what I mean? Like, but if you wanted like a completely original looking spaceship, you know, try making something that you have never seen before. Like try making a spaceship you have never seen before using AI. Chances are it's gonna, whatever you do, no matter how creative you make the prompt or whatever, it's gonna look kind of like some derivative of something that already exists. So I don't know. I just, in terms of like artistry and stuff, I just think that like, you know, it's not going to help companies become more interesting. That's for sure. You know, not that I don't think that most of these companies these days are interested in becoming more interesting. But I think they're going to have to become more interesting eventually. I mean, look at Ubisoft. They've been pumping out the same crap for the past like 10, 15 years, and their stock price has like basically plummeted. I don't know exactly why they're doing so bad right now, but let's have them swirl back around. Anna, hi, hello. What's a film or book you love? Well, I think I made some movie recommendations in the description in the FAQ, so I would check there. I don't read that much anymore, so I don't have like great book recommendations right now. I'm reading To Have and Have Not by Ernest Hemingway right now. It has like a record amount of N-words in it. I was like, whoa, okay. I didn't realize what I was getting myself into, but it's a very interesting book. Should check out the animation called Bobby. Yeah, I think you would dig it. I'll try to remember that. Hello, one half of Umami. Hey, what tell? The art you and the other half of the Umami create inspires me to create art. Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Back in the day, not that long ago really, maybe 6-7 years ago, I used to go to Ubisoft's offices once in a while to do commercials for them. Like they would, there was one guy I used to work with, and he would hire me to go with them and film like behind the scenes kind of videos for their video games. They had like this state-of-the-art motion capture studio. I got to play like Far Cry 5 and stuff like before it was like released, that sort of thing. But I remember playing it though, and I was like, man, this is like basically Far Cry 3. Like they just added some bells and whistles to it, but it's like the same engine essentially. The AI is still extremely stupid, and I don't know. I don't understand why game companies don't like make their AI better. Like I just feel like we don't need more polygons. You know what I mean? Like make the enemies more like smarter. That would be cool. If I snipe someone in the head from like 30 feet away, or not 30 feet, but like a kilometer away, there should be better. There should be some better AI rather than them just all being like, oh, and then they like run up the mountain really like one by one. Now, realistically, if you sniped someone in the head at a compound, they'd be like, oh fuck, someone's got a sniper, and they would all take cover. They wouldn't come running up the mountain after you. So, and then like basically they would reinforce the compound so that, and then they would possibly get their own snipers out, try to, snipe you, or they would like call in air support or something. I don't know what they would do, but they wouldn't run up the mountain one by one with their little pistols. Like this kind of stuff is just so silly to me, and like that. It's like this is a state-of-the-art video game. Like I don't understand, but. That's the one thing that kind of like a pet peeve of mine is like really bad AI in video games. Like it's just, one of the best AIs I've ever played a video game that had one of the best AIs was Alien Isolation. And it's like basically the game is you're not trying to kill the alien, you're just trying to avoid it, right? But if your thing is to like hide in the closet or whatever, or you make this noise or something like that, I don't know how to describe it, but basically the alien was so smart. It would always figure out a way to find you, and it wasn't like cheating or something, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't like, oh, he just knew I was there because the game told him. It was like something you did or something like that, right? But it would always freak me out how smart the AI felt. It felt very intelligent, and it made the game extremely scary because of that. It would always surprise you in certain ways. And I guess because there was only like one enemy in that game, really, there was like some NPCs, whatever. But like basically, you're just the alien the whole time is the enemy. They put like all the AI programming into that alien, but it really paid off. The FAQ it should be the description of this video. It should be. Hey, I appreciate the comment there, Ronick, and Crude Templar. Would you suggest learning to begin or master Blender? Especially in regards to pursuing computer engineering or science. Well, I have no idea if it's the right thing for you to do as someone entering computer engineering or science. It probably would help you create simulations if you're doing that kind of work in science, you know. NVIDIA's got, you know, if you wanted to like have like a visual representation of what you're doing, probably knowing how to use Blender would be useful. But this is not my wheelhouse. I don't know how to use 3D stuff that well, so I'm not really the best person to ask. For that. I've tried learning Blender, and I did learn some 3D software like Cinema 4D and that sort of thing. But now I'm getting older, and I realized I actually don't like spending all this time on the computer, and so now I'm just doing. I just like simple drawings too. I just like kind of like making simple drawings, and making crazy 3D animation doesn't necessarily make your artwork better. It just makes it more impressive, I guess. You know what I mean? But doesn't make it better. You know what I mean? So now I'm just more focused on how to make my 2D drawings more engaging. Oh, yeah. Umami, I saw a viral video and it was something filmed in real life that looked like it could be a game. If I did make that video into a game and it was a good idea commercially, as in the if I did make that video into a game, is that good idea commercially as in the viral video being proved? Oh. If something goes viral, there's something about it that made it viral. So that can be a sign that it's probably a good direction to go in. Like for instance, you know, the backroom stuff. It went extremely viral, and of course anyone who made a video game about the backrooms probably did pretty well. It was like a baked-in audience, right? Like, you know, for instance, on my own channel, I made that animation about the eye test, the eye doctor test, you know, and that video went pretty popular quickly. I wouldn't say it went viral, but it caught on to the algorithm because there was something about the eye doctor test that everyone saw that's relatable. It's almost like if you were to make a video game about that, yes, it would probably do well because it'd be easy to advertise it. Because it's like, you know, you'd be like, hey, like, here's something that you're already familiar with, and it's the eyeglass test, right? The eyeball test. So if you animate something that people are resonating with, or if you create something about a topic that some people are already resonating with, it's going to put you on track to be able to capitalize on that. And so that's honestly, that's a lot of what making art is trying to recognize trends, recognizing what is the thing that's going to resonate with people, and does it. And the reason why something resonates with people is because it's familiar to them to some degree. They already have some sort of understanding about what, and so the Backrooms has such this, everyone has this kind of like feeling from childhood about these like creepy unlit rooms, that these kind of like liminal spaces that we're all familiar with, and that's why it went so viral, That's why I think the eyeglass test that I made video did so well so quickly, is because that's something people are familiar with. And in my opinion, these days, especially with the younger audiences, they're more in tune to the mood that something makes you feel rather than the literal subject of your video. Like the mood that you feel from watching my animations versus like, like just like a slapstick joke video. I can't really, it's people are connecting to things on different ways these days, basically, is what I'm saying. And atmosphere has become very important. It's, in my opinion, why the whole, Silent Hill is so popular these days, even though that's an old franchise, basically. It's because the whole game has like this incredible mood and the music and sound design and stuff. Anyway, I think I'm gonna stop soon, guys. I'm like being really tired and I gotta go eat some food. Yeah, my tape is finished now too. All right, everyone, I'm gonna call it quits now. I really appreciate y'all hanging out with me, and have a good night. All right. Well, and a good weekend. Yeah. Maybe I'll stream sometime again soon. All right, everyone. Take care now. Bye bye.